All the controversy started is now because now everyone's being decisive because they're all saying like, oh, LeBron wants to play, Lakers players want to play, but Kyrie doesn't want to play. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if this is not your first time. This is Raquel with So Beautiful Me Sports Takes, and so I'm going to get into today's video, but before I do that, please do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share, of course, if you like my content. If you don't, like, what's up with you? Well, you might not even know what my content is about, so let me calm down. With that being said, I'm going to get into today's video, which the topic is going to be about the NBA 2020 season, 2019-2020 season, pardon me, restarting, and what's so controversial about the season. So I'm going to give a little bit in depth, and then I'm going to get into the actual topics of it. So as we all know, we've been in a pandemic. The NBA, along with all sports basically worldwide, definitely in America, has been paused and or seasons have been canceled due to COVID-19. We've all been in quarantine for months, and now they're just now starting to let people start getting out, and we're starting to get back into the swing of normal life. And when we say normal life, I mean really normal life. Like, we were stuck in the house for months. Like, why'd they make us do that? But because the season was actually paused, it was paused, I think, back in February. And so many things have happened, and it has literally been like the world has been paused since February. And because of that, the NBA and some of the restrictions are being left with restrictions are being lifted with the COVID and getting some of it under control, which is really still not under control because there's not a vaccine. The NBA has decided that they're going to be bringing back the season so that the teams are able to finish out the season. Me being Raquel, me being a Lakers fan, I'm ecstatic. Like, I was one of the people who were like, no, like, we shouldn't cancel the season. Like, I don't care if we start back next year. Why should the season just be completely canceled when the Lakers, the Bucks, the Celtics, even the Clippers, all of these teams worked really hard to get to their records. So it's just scratched and said whatever, because it's something that was out of, like, we've never experienced anything like this. It was out of our control. It was out of everybody's control. But you worked hard. You've done all this work to just have it scratched. No, that doesn't make sense. I don't care where we was returning. I was just like, long as when we return, the records are the same and we still have the opportunity to play for the championship. That's all I asked for. So with that being said, the NBA finally actually was able to get that done. They voted, the NBA's Players Association voted to whether or not they want to start the season or cancel it. At the time, the NBA Players Association agreed that they did want to start the season, of course, with the precautions and all the cautionary ways that they would have to do for the COVID. The controversy now kind of is irritating. The reason why it's irritating is because, let's jump into that. They decided after they said, the NBA's Players Association decided after that they were going to, or they wanted to continue the season, the NBA then went into a effect to find a location where they could actually finish out the season. Now, one of the venues that they were looking for was in Las Vegas, and then they ended up settling in Orlando Disney Magic. And the reason for that is that they want the players to play in one location or centered locations and not be spread all out. Like, you can't travel right now city to city and things like that with the COVID. It's too risky. It puts players' lives in danger, puts the players' families in danger. It's just not worth it. So they decided, let's take a centralized location, hold kind of like a tournament style in the sense of it being in one location and the games being played to continue out the season. They voted on it about a week ago, and they agreed that it was going to be in Orlando. Everything seemed to be set. Everyone was hyped. Everybody was like, let's go. Season about to start. I was probably like the loudest, hypest, like, I told you guys, I told you, I feel like I've been saying that we were going to start the season again. I've been saying it. Haven't I been saying it? I've been saying it. So we were all good. Everybody was Everybody was excited. Fans were excited because we haven't had any type of sports. Like, all sports have been basically canceled or they've been paused. And because of it, we were all like, oh my gosh, an NBA season, at least they're going to be able to salvage it. Until, unfortunately, events that were happening with the racial discrimination and injustices of Black people. So you'd have to be under a rock or just disconcerted person if you do not know what's going on. Unfortunately, there's been some uprisings in police brutality against blacks, and I've already discussed this on my other channel, but I'm not going to discuss this in this video because it's just not the topic, but it is the reason why people or fans and players started to change their mind about playing the NBA season. Because right now, a lot of people are protesting for Black Lives Matter. People are protesting for us, my kind, me, us being basically continually to be killed and murdered by police, and those murderers, because they're police, are basically being let off. And it's been happening forever. One of the biggest things that we all probably know of is Kaepernick. Kaepernick was an advocate for police brutality and injustices against blacks in America, or minorities, pardon me. And we know he got banned for kneeling, and there's just so many backstories, and I will get into that as well. But the reason why this is so controversial right now is because now that everything is going on, a lot of focus is being on Black Lives Matter, a lot of protesting. We want change. We want real effective change. So one of the things that unfortunately happened was that some of the players were just not about to come back and play because they felt like that's not the most important thing to do right now. The most important thing to do is right now is to be in this moment, fight for justice, fight for black people, fight for our lives. And I commend them for it. Like, it takes a lot of balls to just sit there and say, you know what? Forget about sports, forget about what's going on outside of that. I really want to see social justice and injustices stop. I want social justice reform and injustices to stop. And I get it. I understand it. But my only thing that I've been saying, and one of the biggest things I've been saying on Twitter, is like, you can do both. You can play the game as well as use your platform and your fame, as a way to be able to continue to push, for social reform and for us to get that actual justice served. Why does it have to be separate? Why does it have to be one or the other? And one of the things that happened is that Kyrie, who I believe is like one of the main players of NBA Players Association, decided, he was like, I'm willing to give everything up for this, and I don't want to play. Thing about it is, Kyrie was already not playing because Kyrie was already injured. So Kyrie is trying to make a majority case for other players to not play because he said it is more important, which it is. We know Black lives and human lives at any rate is always more important than sports. That's just common sense. But people don't have common sense sometimes. So they try to act like that means that you can't do one or the other, or you can't believe that and actually care about the sport. That's not true. So anyways, the big uproar now is that now it's a division. The decisiveness of Kyrie, what he did was basically cause a division. The NBA's Player Association had already voted. Now, if you don't want to play, the NBA is not forcing you to play. The NBA has given players the option for the entire season, not only just for the Black Lives Matter protests, but also for their own health home health risks. They're saying you can either opt in to play or opt out to play. They're not forcing any players to play, but at the same time, they're saying that it is a profession. So if you do not play, or you choose not to play, or you're unable to, you don't get paid. I don't see that being a problem. That should be how it is. You shouldn't be able to get paid even though you're an NBA player and you don't play. Because I can't go to a job right now and say, hey, I'm not coming in. And they be like, okay, cool, no problem. Take your time. We're not paying you, but take your time. That's what a profession is. So all the controversy started is now because now everyone's being decisive because they're all saying like, oh, LeBron wants to play, Lakers players want to play, but Kyrie doesn't want to play. And now I see like all this stuff where it's like, you can't be an advocate for social reform of black people and minorities in the country and still want to see the sports and play. That's not true. And I hate this narrative, and I hate that they're going down this route, because all that is doing is being more division in the black community, more division in fans, more division in, sports, which usually actually unites people. And I just do not like how Kyrie went about it. I'm sorry. I feel like he's grandstanding. He wants it to be all about him, not about the cause. And the reason why I say that, and I believe that, is because in reality, he wasn't going to play, and there's so many rumors going on that he was first saying that if he could come travel with the team, then maybe he would support it, and then all this changed. Now, granted, these are rumors, so I know rumors could, like, there's so many rumors where it's saying one thing and then there's another thing being reported, so I get it. We don't have enough insight to know the truth, but we have enough insight to know enough. And Matt Barnes has spoken on it. Kendra Perkins, who I do not like, has spoken on it. And a few insiders have spoken on it and has said that, this is Kyrie. And if you know Kyrie's history, Kyrie, he's from Duke. I love Duke, but I'm not a fan of Kyrie. Because I feel like Kyrie complains a lot about stuff without taking real responsibility of what his role is. I mean, he was in Cleveland, he wasn't happy. He went to the Celtics. When he went to the Celtics, he basically demand, got the stuff he wanted, and still wasn't happy. Now he's with the Brooklyn Nets. He wants the whole team to sit out and, use that as a way to, of course, fight for reform, which is commendable, but it's not ideal for all these players. Some of these players are not multimillionaires like Kyrie Irving. Some of them don't earn millions of dollars per year where they can't sit out. Some of them are on rookie contracts. Some of them are on, different things. Some of them are just minimal paid players. They have bills, they have family, they have things that they have to take care of. That all has to be taken into consideration when you're talking about, oh, everyone just sit out and don't play. The NBA is just like any other job and profession. It's like anything else. If they're not getting any money, which they're not currently, there's no tickets being sold, there's no revenue being made, that affects their bottom line. Whether they're billionaires or not, it still affects their bottom line to be able to pay you, multimillionaires, the money that you earn for playing. So the NBA hasn't been one of the leagues that were like, no, you can't speak, you can't talk, you can't say anything about Black Lives Matter. They've been an advocate for it. Now, have they done everything perfect? No, but who hasn't? Now, the difference is, and the reason why I say Kyrie is grandstanding, is because Laker player Avery Bradley has presented of ways he wants changes to be implemented, and his implications are what I think is effective and what helps reform. He wants more Black, executives. He wants programs for Blacks. He wants different things like that. That's what you need to push, the goal stick forward. You don't need to be about, let's just stop, because life can't stop. People can't just not go to work. People can't say, oh, this, my boss is possibly racist, so I don't want to go to work. That's not how it's going to work. You have to do things, you have to have a plan. You can't just go out there grandstanding and say, stop and we're going to do this, I'm going to risk it all. Because there are players who actually really need to get back on that court to feed their families, to support their families. Now, people might look at that and say, oh, shut up, you sound stupid, girl, because these are millionaires. They are millionaires, but you have to understand, just because you're a millionaire doesn't mean you don't have bills. Millionaires have bills too. And their lifestyle means that they have even bigger bills than you and me alike, because the more money you make, the bigger your bills, the bigger your expenses and things like that. Now, granted, should they have managed their money better? Yes, but shouldn't we all? We don't. We make mistakes. We do things. So I love what they're about, but like I said, you can't sit out forever. You have to do something that's going to actually push reform, social justice, and doing that is using your using your platform. Not only using your platform, but use your voice, use your celebrity, use that to push for change. Don't just be trying to grandstand and want to be like stepped out, kind of like you want to be Kaepernick of the NBA, Kyrie, but not looking at everybody else who needs to eat, who needs to pay their bills. And Austin Rivers said it best. Go read his caption or his comment made to Kyrie. Like he said, I would love to continue to play, but please also be able to use my platform, to push for social reform and justice. So it just makes more sense to try to actually use things that are going to be able to be implemented to real change, because you can't always sit out. There's just no way that the NBA is going to be always to be able to sit out. And just like your job, you have to show up whether you like it or not sometimes, because you have to feed your family. So do these NBA players. So where I look at it is, Kyrie caused all this division, and unfortunately, it's not even just causing division with players, it's causing division with fans. It's one side of it, the fans think you're a coon if you want them to still play. The other side of it, fans feel like, you're not caring about the issues if you're someone who's sitting there, saying they can play, as well as push the agenda for Black Lives Matter and other social reforms and, all the injustices that are happening. Before any of this was going on, we were all for it. And I definitely see the moment is about using this and utilizing this moment to really push for change. But you have to have plans. You have to actually have something you want to do. Can't just be grandstanding saying, we shouldn't play, because that's not going to solve anything in the end. Anyways, with that being said, I hope that this all gets resolved soon. We'll kind of know soon, because I think by Monday or Tuesday, the players have to actually give their answers whether or not they would like to be playing in Orlando or if they are going to choose to sit out for the remainder of the season. They have the option. I think the NBA is doing the best they can with the circumstances, and I think that it's just kind of crazy to, pit people against one another, players against one another, just because some players actually want to finish out the season. They want to, hopefully win a ring, and it is important for them, as well as some players actually need to, because they have families that they have to support. Anyways, this is my take on it. Please give me your take, and like I said, keep it respectful. If you kind of get stupid with me, I'm just going to block you. I ain't got time for that. I do it on Twitter. I'll do it here. It's simple. You can't respect me. You can disagree with me in a respectful manner. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share if you like this content. I mean, why not? It's me. I'll see you guys in the next one.